Figure it out.
Hello, this is Adam Koralik with Figure It Out Productions. The following video is part of our Quick Shoot series.
Hey guys, it's Adam here, and check out this package I got from Japan. No, it's not from Amazon Japan. P.S. Fuck Amazon Japan, because they're the only Amazon that will not ship internationally, which I don't get. But yes, this package did come from Japan, and it is full of all sorts of awesome video game goodness. But before we go into it, which I intend to show you every single item because I'm super excited about it, this package is a little bit special because you guys might remember, possibly, if you've been watching me, God, it must have at least been a year ago, I did not one, but two videos about packages I got from a buddy of mine who lives in Germany. His name is Stefan, and he basically contacted me a long time ago and was like, hey, you know, I'm in Germany, that means I'm local to Europe, obviously. If there's any European exclusive games you need, like, you know, hit me up. I'd love to go hunting for them. I could get them cheaper than you and round them all up and send them your way. And I was like, of course. Of course I was going to take that offer. And so he did, like I said, twice. And you can check those videos out again if you want. So because of him, I have, with the exception of one game, I have a full European exclusive Sega Saturn set, which is awesome. And then fast forward a few months, he's like, hey dude, I'm living in Japan now. And I was like, really? And he's like, yeah, for like 6 months I'll be in Japan. Incidentally, he's no longer in Japan. But he said, you know, same deal. If you want me to hunt down some Japanese exclusives, I'd love to do that for you. And of course, I had to jump at that because Japan is the land of exclusive video games. And so yeah, the package arrived. Here's the thing. I don't really remember what's in this thing because I had to be very modest comparatively to what I could have done. I mean, that's being a kid in a candy store saying, what do you want from Japan? I'll send you anything. Again, I'm the one paying for the games. He's not paying for the games. He's just rounding them up, and he's getting them cheaper locally than I could ever from importing them. So it was my money, so I had to be somewhat frugal in that sense. But because again, Japan, you could break your wallet there in a day, you know. So I had to approach certain things carefully. Like I wasn't going to go after all the Saturn exclusives, for example, because there's 1,400 of them. You like literally couldn't, you know, it's impossible. And I'm not even exaggerating. There's like literally 1,400 exclusives there for the Saturn. So I targeted, basically how it works, we ended up targeting certain consoles and saying like, all right, let's just go after these, let's go after those, etc. And just see what we end up with. So most of that stuff was picked like 6 or 7 months ago at the time this video is coming out. And then he held on to the box because I was like, you never know what we might find that we might end up doing. And then, like, last month, at the time you're seeing this, he was like, yeah, so I'm about to move back to Germany. I need to send your stuff, so are we good? And I was like, yeah. I think I ended up picking like one more thing right before he did that, and then we shipped it out. So it arrived, and I couldn't open it because I wanted to make a video for you guys to show you all this stuff, but I've had so many other videos and so many other obligations I had to take care of that I was like, I can't even enjoy the contents of the box until now. So I'm super excited, and I hope you'll be at least moderately excited with me because I don't even remember what's in this thing. Sorry about the jump cut there. So, okay, here's the deal. That first package you saw, we're going to unbox it in just a moment. This is actually a second package. What happened here was that I shot that first clip, and I was in post, I was editing it, and Stefan emailed me, and thank God he emailed me when he did. He said, like, hey, just so you know, final warning here, I'm leaving in 3 weeks. If there's anything else you want, it's crunch time, we got to do this. My mistake, I thought he was already back in Germany. Now, he definitely 100% is back in Germany. But he was cool enough to let me round up some more items I just couldn't resist, including one thing in particular, which is I am so happy to have. So you can stay tuned. After the first unboxing, we'll just jump back to this new clip, and you will see the second unboxing. So I hope you enjoy it. I'm going to cut the side here, and okay, rip open the top. It's really a shame that Amazon Japan won't ship to other countries. I don't get that, man, because all the other Amazons do. They'll all ship internationally, but Amazon Japan just will not do it. Because I would buy stuff from them all the time if they did. I'm sure a lot of people would. Okay, so here's the first thing, because it's huge. This is, it's a Kamen Rider game for the Wii U. That was one of the things I focused a lot on, was Wii U exclusives, because there's a lot of Japanese Wii U exclusives. Unfortunately, the Wii U is region coded, so I can't actually use any of these, at least not yet. I'm hoping to get a Japanese Wii U unless they unlock region coding or whatever. So I wanted to track down a lot of the games. This one was, it's, you know, Skylanders, Disney Infinity type of game. Nothing that interesting, honestly. I really just wanted it for the game. But I remember looking at this on like eBay and Play Asia, and it was like super expensive. And I was like, God damn it, man. But Amazon Japan was willing to sell it super cheap. But they would only ship it to him because he was local. So I was like, all right, let's do that. So that was the case with a lot of these. Was they came from Amazon Japan where they were oddly cheap compared to Play Asia or eBay or whatever. Or he found them in local game stores. And he sent me, this is sidetracking here, but he sent me footage of some of these game stores he went to, and I was just like, you know, because it was like, holy shit, that looks like a dream to be inside of. But yeah, that's the first one there. This Kamen Rider game. You're going to have to forgive me because obviously in a lot of cases I won't be able to read what the title is, but I'll try. So here, oh, he threw this in as a bonus at the end. This is Wave Race 64 for the Japanese N64. This is interesting actually because I didn't ask for this. He bought this for himself and then kind of forgot that it would be really hard for him to use it on a PAL N64, so he said he would just give it to me. But the thing that makes this version special is that in Japan, this and a couple other games, at least the only one that I can remember off the top of my head, Super Mario 64, Nintendo re-released later in the N64's life and made them compatible with the Rumble Pack. We never got that in the West. So this version of Wave Race 64 supports the Rumble Pack, and you can use it on an American N64, provided you either mod your console's plastic tabs, you swap out the back with this, with a normal American, but you know, an American cartridge, or if you use Game Shark or something, you can use this here, no problem, and then you'll have Rumble in the game. Same with that Mario 64 I was just talking about. He gave that to me for free because he bought that by mistake. This is Kamen Rider Battle Ride War 2 for the Wii U. Awesome. Sealed. Most of this stuff is sealed too, because in Japan, man, I'm telling you, a lot of that stuff is just in good shape all the time. It's always in really good condition. Dragon Quest X version 3, Monster Hunter Frontier G6, again Wii U, Monster Hunter Frontier G5, Wii U, Monster Hunter Frontier GG, also Wii U. I'm telling you, I think at one point because of this box especially, it's going to be really hard to avoid going for a full Wii U set when I just knocked off, I think, most of the Japanese exclusives. This is a Japanese copy of Ken's Fist of Fury, Ken's Rage, or whatever. I don't remember the exact title. This got a digital release in North America and Europe, but in Japan it got a physical release. So, and of course I'm all pro physical, so I really wanted to get that. Oh, I don't remember the name of this one at all. I hear it's pretty good. It's like this drum game for the Wii U. You'll have to forgive me on some of the titles. Like I said, I can't read Japanese, so don't know that one at all. It looks super Japanese, doesn't it? So yeah, Japanese exclusive. Let's see. Oh, Puyo Puyo Tetris. That's supposed to be pretty good. This is a Sega title that never came out in North America and probably never will. It's available also on the PS4 and Xbox One if you want to import it. Those consoles are region free, but there you go. I think it's also on PS3 and 360 actually. Monster Hunter Frontier G7. Monster Hunter stuff's obviously super popular there. I think we only got Monster Hunter 3 here for the Wii U. Monster Hunter Frontier G Memorial Package, which has some sort of postcard or something on the back that's taped to it. Monster Hunter Frontier G something else edition. I don't know, dude. Just Dance Wii U. This is a Japanese exclusive Just Dance game. Dragon Quest X all-in-one package. Yeah, Dragon Quest X second anniversary something. I can't read this at all. Japanese. I recognize that mascot from some, he was on a Dreamcast game too. A Dreamcast game that was recalled, no less. This is the same, alright, so that drum game I was telling you about, there was a second one. I don't know if this is the second or the first, but it's the other game in that series, right there. Those are supposed to be pretty good, or so I've been told. A Nobununga game, I believe that's what it was, with power-up kit. We had this game digitally in North America. Europe got a quasi-physical release where they got the case but they didn't get a disc. Japan got the case and the disc. I want to say it's Mario versus Donkey Kong, like where you're collecting stars or something. I don't remember exactly what the title is. It's not in English, unfortunately, anywhere. I held out hope that this would get released in North America physically, but it very seriously looks like that will not happen. So I definitely wanted to make sure I got my hands on that one. That is it for Wii U titles, but there is more stuff in here. I'm going to show you this. This is kind of a nice surprise item he got for me right at the end. So when Shenmue 3 was announced, like the day after, Yu Suzuki, who's the creator of Shenmue, did an interview with Famitsu Magazine, which is a Japanese video game magazine. And I was like, I just talked to him briefly. I was like, that's so cool. And he's like, all right, no problem. And he went out and actually got the magazine. So to me, that's awesome because it has the actual interview in here with him. Like, yes, of course, I can't read it. It's not in English, but it's still just a cool piece of, you know, Shenmue merchandise that I really wanted to get my hands on. And I know at least that part of it says Shenmue 3. So that's really cool as a Shenmue fanatic. I'm just glad to have that. This is an Xbox One game. Azito X something. Now the reason this is cool is that this is a true exclusive in the sense that this game is only available in Japan and only available on the Xbox One. Now think about that. I mean, the Xbox One is pretty much all but given up in Japan at this point. So this game is kind of unique because it might end up being, I'm not sure obviously yet, but it might end up being the one and only totally Japanese exclusive Xbox One game. Unfortunately, the Xbox One is region free, so I'm curious to see what it was. I picked it up solely on that basis, that it was a total exclusive for the Xbox One in Japan. When the original Xbox came out in Japan, they made a legit effort to really captivate Japan, and they put out a lot of games there that we never got. So I said, like, let's track as many of those down as we can. Unfortunately, that was a little bit harder because they're, you know, retro. And he was telling me, he even showed me in those videos, like, if a game store has an Xbox section, which there's really no guarantee they ever will, it's usually pitifully small. So it's amazing he was able to get what he got. Oh, before I go in, I just noticed these. There's a couple other things here. There is some sort of little bag. I'm not sure what this is for. It looks like it's from that Ken's Rage game. I'm not sure what it is. Oh, and another Wii U game, Simple Series for Wii U, which is a big Japanese thing where it's like a collection of a bunch of mini games they put together. Something Evolution. Oh, Shikigami no Shiro Evolution. This is a shmup. We had a version of this for the Dreamcast as well, and that was pretty cool. Yeah, it comes with a soundtrack and stuff. That's really neat. Of course, the original Xbox is one of my favorite consoles. Tenereza. I think this is also a shmup, but actually, no, looking at the screen cap, it definitely is not. But yeah, another original Xbox Japanese-only exclusive. Jockey's Road, which is some sort of horse simulation game. It was 250 yen, which is actually was on sale at 190, it looks like, which is the equivalent of about $1.50. So there you go. Triangle again, or yeah, 2. Double Steel, the second Clash, which is some sort of racing game, like a crashing racing game. I think the first one, Double Steel, was retitled Reckless, the Yakuza Missions. You guys remember that game? It's just an intense racing game, kind of like Burnout, where you're supposed to cause accidents, as I recall. The second one was only released in Japan. Triangle again, the first one, also super cheap. Looks like it was only 200 yen on sale, which again is like maybe the equivalent of $1.70. You know, it's not that much. A game called Innocent Tears. Not sure what that is. And finally, this one's kind of cool. The collector's edition of Nude. I don't know if you guys remember Nude. Nude was, back, like I said before, when they were really pushing for the Xbox in Japan, there were a few games that got some serious traction over there to the point where in the West we were like, well, why the hell aren't we getting that? One of them was Phantom Dust, which they did bring over, but Nude was the other one, and it never got brought here. Now, I unfortunately don't know much about the actual game. It probably never got brought here because of its name. But yeah, this is the collector's edition, and I remember when he found this, he was like, dude, it's super cheap, especially for a collector's edition, like exclusive title like that, because I've seen the regular copy of this sell for like 40 bucks on eBay, and I think he got the collector's edition, I want to say for like 15, maybe even 10, I'm not entirely sure, I just remember it being super, super cheap. But yeah, man, It's in really good condition, and I'm just curious what the other part of it was that it came with. It's some sort of Xbox headset. It says Xbox on it. That's really cool. Oh, and it plugs into the cartridge slot on the controller. On to the second package. I hope you enjoyed the first one. Now, in an effort to expedite matters just slightly, I've already pre-sliced and opened up the package. I want to thank Stefan again, because in this case, he shipped this out like the day he flew back. Like, he put this in the mail and then went to the airport, and that was amazing of him to do. I'm really glad it arrived on time and all fine, because I don't know what we would have done if it got lost or returned or whatever, but didn't have to worry about it. Also, all these items came directly from Amazon Japan, all shipped to him, and then he shipped it here. So that's it. Nothing he found out in the wild. So let's just go into this. What we have here, first thing up, is Monster Hunter Frontier G8, a Wii U exclusive. I think this was the only other Wii U exclusive I ended up picking up. I don't think anything else in there is a Wii U exclusive specifically. Mostly what I focused on was this. This is an original Xbox game. I try to get as many of the original Japanese exclusive Xbox games as possible, just to kind of continue the trend. Unfortunately, I don't remember the name of this one offhand. I would have to actually look it up. There's quite a few of them in this particular series. So let's see here. We're just going to go one package at a time. This one is Cyberrier 2. I believe it's called Cyberrier 2, The Will to Fabricate, which I think means The Desire to Lie. Extended Edition, also, of course, Japanese exclusive. Well, for the Xbox. This is available on the Dreamcast, although I don't think the extended version is. Wow, this is a sealed copy of, I want to say Jet Dream, I think is what it's called. I'll correct it if it's wrong. I think it's just like a flight simulator type of game. Drihoo, D-R-I-H-O-O, Drihoo, probably about drilling. Castle of Shikigami Evolution Blue. I think in the first part of this video I showed you one with a red cover. I realized in hindsight that one's actually called Shikigami of Evolution, Castle of Shikigami Evolution Red. They are apparently different, not just the box art, but there you go. It's a shmup. This is, I believe, just Castle of Shikigami. I think it's just the first one, right there. J Phoenix Plus. It's one of the harder original Xbox games to find, and it looks to be sealed as well, which is crazy. Angelic Concert. Looks to be some sort of limited edition. I wasn't expecting that, but that's nice. Another one of those puzzle type of games, like the first one. They're like traditional Japanese puzzle games like Mah-jong and stuff, although I don't know what particular game this one is. But there you go, Jockey's Road. Now you might have seen that, you would have noticed this in part one. The problem with the copy of Jockey's, there was actually a defect in the copy of Jockey's Road that I already got, which is unfortunate. But it's a game that's super cheap, so it really wasn't that big of a deal to replace. In fact, I was almost considering telling him just send the disc. I don't really need the case, because the case is in beautiful shape. But doesn't matter. Guilty Gear Isuka. Like, there was an exclusive Guilty Gear game just on the original Xbox, in Japan only. When I say that, I mean it didn't get a North American release for the Xbox. It might have come out in on the PS2 or something, but yeah, in Japan, original Xbox version. Yet another one of those puzzle games. These are always like the hardest ones to find, largely because, you know, it's really difficult to translate them, so it's difficult to tell like which ones you have, but also they never tend to produce a lot of copies of these types of games. I'm just telling you, like when you're hunting exclusives in any particular console, weird ones like this are always the hardest ones to track all down. I think I ended up with all of them save for one, and I'm sure that one will be the hardest to get. Petite Copter, or Tiny Helicopter. It's pretty much exactly what it sounds like. You just play as like a tiny little helicopter and you fly around houses, as I recall. I played it once a long time ago, so that might not be the most accurate description, but there you go. This is a game called Muzzle Flash, which looks, just from the back of it, looks a little Counter-Strike-ish. But yeah, obviously I haven't played it yet. And this is the last of those puzzle ones. This one is specifically Othello, which is like that white and black game. I never actually played it, the actual board game before, but there you go. So you might have noticed in the first part I was talking about that exclusive Xbox One game. Turns out there's actually a second one, and it's called Psycho Pass, which I guess is based on an anime. The reason I didn't notice it is it doesn't actually specify on there that it's an exclusive, but it turns out that it is. I assumed it was available for the PS4 in Japan, but it's not. So for the same reason, it's a Japanese Xbox One exclusive. Decided to pick it up just on that basis. Although I don't know anything about the anime, of course. I don't watch anime, and I don't. Yeah, I have no idea what the game is. It's just purely for collector's reasons, because I really doubt there's going to be a whole lot of truly authentic Japanese exclusives for the Xbox One. And now for the final item. This is a really special one, and you're gonna be happy you stuck around for this. This is a boxed Apple Pippin. Apple Pippin. Now, I'm super short history of this. Apple, at one time, made a video game console. Yeah, they made just one. This is it. It was released in North America, for sure. I think it was released in Europe. Yeah, it was released in Europe. And it was released in Japan. In Japan, though, they didn't put the name Apple on it as predominantly. They more or less claimed that Bandai made it, because Bandai is Japanese, and typically Japanese stuff sells better if the Japanese public thinks a Japanese company made it. This console sold like crap everywhere. In Japan, though, it did, I'm not going to say it did well or even okay, but it is possible to find one. I believe we got this off of Amazon Japan, as you can see in the box, complete and all that good stuff. I think it was only about $100, which for a Pippin is insanely good, especially boxed and complete like this. Now what I'm thinking is, and you guys tell me if you want me to do this, you get to vote. This is a fifth generation game console. Now, when I did my retrospective series on all the 5th gen consoles, I never included it. I mean, I mentioned it, but I don't have one prior to this, so I never made a video about it. Would you guys like to see kind of a retroactive recap of it, where I just kind of like insert it into the playlist? You tell me if you'd be interested in seeing a whole video on this particular console. But I'm going to open it up here. Just give me a moment while I kind of look at this. Stefan already opened it up and took a look at it, and he said it was in really good shape. It's got all sorts of, it's got, you know, press information, not press information, you know, like the manual, all that good stuff. It of course has the cables, it has the controller, it has the power supply, all that fun stuff. It also includes a bunch of just discs, which you might think of as games, but they're not. They're mostly like application software, which, here's where it unfortunately gets a little crappy. There was only something like 6 games released for it. I'm not 100% sure on the number, but I know it was extremely low. And we weren't able to find any of them, so I have no games. I just have like application software. But nevertheless, I would like to make the video, but you know, tell me if you guys want to see it. Tell me if you would even watch that, if that would be interesting to you. But here you go. There's the console. Very cool to have one of these. This thing is way heavier than I expected. You guys, if you saw my Gamescom video that I did a few months ago, I played with one for the first time ever. Not the best, most fun experience, but it's still really cool to have one of these. He said it's extremely universal, that you can adjust the power supply, you can also adjust the video output on it. It's capable on board, it looks like, S-Video, VGA, which is a little surprising. Also composite. Very cool. Yeah. There's your controller ports and everything. All sorts of stuff. Yeah, just a really weird console that almost nobody knows anything about. Really, really cool to have my hands on one of these finally. So, there you go. But yeah, that's it, guys. Thank you very much for watching this. Thank you a whole hell of a lot to Stefan for all the work he did, rounding all the stuff up, actually shipping it out, all that great stuff. Thank you to him. Seriously, huge shout out to you, dude. He's a hell of a good guy. Really is. And thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all later.